You know what? I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I am still in my night clothes. It is December 12th, 2025, and it is nearly 4 p.m. where I am at the moment. My nose is clean. Whatever. You know, I'm recording this video. Years ago they used to tell you, when they were calling people to come to church. I remember that as a little kid. Come as you are, and I always imagine people coming in the rollers. I am coming totally in my as I am. I am in my comfort costume. This is my robe. This is my pajamas. I am. My name is Sandra. I'm almost 70, well, 69 to be exact, almost. And I'm realizing that doing this YouTube channel is not an option. I've been thinking about doing this, and I have filmed probably 100 videos over the years because I actually took a class, um, computer network information and technology programming. And so it gave me enough. I have a certificate that I would have been able to work if that's what I chose. But I had the opportunity to take the class because I had VA benefits. And this is a little diversion, but I thought I don't really need that. I can live fine. I'm okay with the little income that I have. But then I realized living here for the expenses that I had, especially keeping a car, that I needed like about $500 a month. And I was thinking, I don't want to go back to the States, to try to work. So it just so happened, an opportunity came up to do some volunteer work and in computer programming. And so I thought, oh, I can learn that. I can volunteer, somehow, how we come up with ideas, right? So I looked into the VA benefit that I was granted as a surviving spouse of a wartime veteran. And then I found that if I take classes, and it depends on how I did it, I would be able to get exactly enough money for what I needed to meet my expenses. Now, I did not realize that. I didn't know, I didn't look for it, but it was a provision that took care of me at that moment. So that brings me full circle to where I am now. I have a VA benefit as a surviving spouse. And I've been living in Costa Rica now for 21 years. And so my idea has been to share my experience of living in Costa Rica and also helping other people who maybe want to know, can they move? Is it possible? Some of the ins and outs, some of the pitfalls, some of the things you look forward to, but then also things that can go wrong. And so in my 20 plus years of living here, I've gone through a lot. It has been very difficult. But what I can say is I'm still here. I'm grateful that I'm still here 21 years later. So maybe you find yourself in a position now where you want to know, can I move to another country? It could be Costa Rica, it could be Panama, could be wherever you choose. Um, but I can't speak to that, and I'm certainly not a professional or expert, so to speak, but I am a expert on my life and what I've gone through, and now what I need to look forward to or think about in the coming years. So, when you start to get a milestone age, 70s not too far away, little over a year, then you think, oh, wait a minute. Have I been doing long term planning, long term care? I still can move, exercise, walk, run, do whatever, but long term care, that's being responsible, right? And, I've watched a number of friends who have moved here and they've been residents and everything, or they've been here a number of years, but because they didn't work out the long-term care, the long-term planning, or explain that to their family, or wake up or work out a plan with their family, they've had to go back, many against their will. Or those who have stayed here have had to rely on friends and neighbors to help them make ends meet or for their care. And your care can change at any moment. It could be a car accident, it could be all kinds of different things that can happen to you. And so, what I discovered a long time ago, a healthcare plan is not okay, I'll get on a plane and because I have Medicare in the US. When my husband got sick, not only did we not have time to get on a plane, we did not have time to do 15 minutes up from the doctor's office and 15 minutes back down and then an hour across town to the hospital. He said, no, you don't have time. You need to go to the hospital right now. So there was no booking a flight, getting a flight at Sunday at 8 o'clock at night. It wasn't going to happen. So if you're going to live somewhere, you need to have that long-term plan worked out and something that's going to back it. In my case, I do have, thankfully, international insurance that I got really about 20 years ago. And that incident with him, when the bills all came in and I looked at what I was paying in premiums, I was like, well, that worked out good because the bill was equal to 10 years worth of premiums. So don't think you're going to move to another country and it's going to be cheap, because they do not play in a private hospital. You have to pay before you leave. You have to pay a deposit before you enter. And so that's what's stimulating this thinking today. Because one of the things that I'm doing right now is I needed to use up some Audible credits. So I downloaded Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. And I was like, well, I've got all my credit cards paid off. And, I'm paying ahead on my car. I don't have a mortgage. And so I'm good. And then I'm at chapter 6 and I'm like, oh my goodness, no, I'm not. And so I was having a conversation with Chat GPT this morning, and I will highly recommend AI, whatever your choice is. But it is such a good tool for processing your situation. And since I've been using it for a while, and I've prompted it and I've fed it the essential information that it needs to know about me, and I know with confidence that others are using it and using it with, a measure of reliability. You always still have to check it. I put a picture in there, for example, yesterday of me for it to touch up. It came back some blonde-haired guy. I don't know how it got that. Anyway, so don't count on the 100% reliability. Maybe one day I'll post that picture. So don't count on it, but it does give you good feedback. And so as we were having the conversation this morning, and I was like, oh man, did I blow it? Based on the suggestions of Dave Ramsey and what I should have done and how I should have built my emergency fund, and should I be paying my car off first before building the emergency fund? And I've been doing things backwards. So that started the conversation to see, all right, for where I am and what I am, I don't have millions of dollars. We didn't come here based on having millions of dollars. We came here in a volunteer capacity, with the money from our house sale. And, that's been 21 years ago, and a whole lot of other things that went wrong that kind of really uh, can take a bite out of whatever you might have planned, let's say. So you have to see what your exposures are, and that's what I'm seeing. My insurances, my health insurance, my car insurance, my homeowner's insurance, my local government insurance. Because if you can insure it, insure it. And then have your deductible and whatever you might need on the outside of that. But you need to have that there. If everything goes wrong, at least you have some breathing room. So that's what I'm seeing, and that's why I'm still sitting here today, because it was such an eye-opening conversation, using that tool that helps process, so I can see, what I need. I don't need to live on $1 million or whatever. I do have, some small fixed income coming in. So, nothing is guaranteed, but at least if I do have some type of uh, emergency fund there, then at least I have that covered. So, we know there's no guarantee. Even the Bible says that, a person lives to 70 years old in special mightiness if they reach 80. And so I'm just about ready for the clock to tick and then be on the other side of borrowed time, right? So that's a reality. That is a reality. I mean, you could do everything you can try to do to maintain your health, eat right, exercise, lower your body weight, and that's going to be even some subjects that I will like to address. Just even my weight loss journey for the last 40 years. And what I'm trying to do different now, and just some realizations, even using AI. I mean, it's when you're by yourself, your friends get tired of hearing you talk, because really we forget. And so that's why this is me talking to myself. This filming, whether no one else sees it, is for an audience of one, is for me to remind myself that, this is a day for me that I'm going to mark. And December 12th is always an uncomfortable date for me anyway, whenever that day approaches, whenever whenever I'm at December 12th, because a very dear friend just died at 16 years old when I was in high school, and just died. Just died. That week he was voted the most valuable player on his football team. And then next thing you know, he's dead. And it still touches me. I still think of his family every December 12th. I always feel a little uncomfortable. Should I call him? Should I not? But, he's part of the reality. And so it's something for me to use as a marker. And just by coincidence, it wasn't on purpose. Just by coincidence, I was using this morning to just simply ask that question: did I blow it on the money makeover? And so No, everything is fine. We can go with the information that we have. And so, as you are thinking for yourself, man, I didn't do this, or why didn't we don't have financial education. But I'm trying my best to listen to everything that I can listen to. I'll be honest, this is total transparency. I have never deposited money into a certificate of deposit in my life until last month. I didn't know how it worked, I didn't know how it would be. I knew nothing. I just happened to notice a dividend in my regular savings account. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. It's like $3. And that was just like a regular savings account, that I'm sitting there as I'm waiting to pay my health insurance. And I was like, oh, well, what happens if I put some money into one that's like a little higher? Because I hear everyone talk about high interest savings account. I didn't know what that was. I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm talking about financial illiteracy. Sorry, never heard the conversation. I've never been in a room where I've never been in the presence of anyone having that conversation. I've never been a taxi driver where I can drive and listen to people as they talk about investments, like in, a movie or something like that. But I, I did it. I just, put it $500 in for 30 days to see what happens. I'm like, oh, okay, that's how it works. And I could take it right back out because I needed it back out for paying the health insurance. But now I understand. But then I also understand the importance now of putting that emergency fund, why that's essential. I've paid all, I took a picture one day, I'll share it. I took a picture of my Chase credit cards, every single one at zero. It's like so pretty, but it still wasn't quite satisfying, right? But there was nothing was coming in, nothing, so that was going to be charged because I'm about to even close those out, because with Chat GPT today, it explained to me the emotional reality that I don't need those lines of credit available. Now, for the biggest things, I have health insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance. So, covering the deductible, being sure those emergency things are taken care of, are more the reality. And then having efficient savings, which was less than $20, or what, I mean, $20,000. But some of you have that already before moving. So this is just kind of me talking to me. I don't mind your eavesdropping. I don't mind. And I hope I'll be able to share with you some of this journey. And my title of my channel is Just a Coffee Picking Minute, because I do live on a coffee farm. Part of my conversation will be about my life with having coffee. We didn't come down here to have a coffee business, as people say. So, but I do have coffee that I manage the picking, and it's really more of on a hobby level. But so it's a play of that, just a cut and pick a minute, going way back. I'm an old person, but it's just a coffee picking minute. So, we'll be having conversations where we're drinking coffee, or maybe drinking water, or even drinking tea, or whatever. Um, but it's just something to take a minute to stop and think and analyze, not for wealth to be wealthy or rich, because most of us misunderstand the concept of a rich life. I downloaded Ramit's book on I Will Make You Rich. Um, and I had it playing, I had it up on the screen of my car. And so someone got in my car and they saw that. Oh, the devil is always working, isn't he? She said. And yeah, I'm listening to the book. So I was like, well, hey, wait, let's get kind of right away here on the conversation. But I just said, you know what? I don't know anything about managing money. And what I find for the book is not telling you to love money, it's telling you to love yourself and not have yourself in a bind and stressed out, and have love for your family who now will be responsible for your care because you didn't manage your life yourself. And so nobody's going to feel sorry for you because now you've gone and traveled all over the place and you pay your bills, but you don't have enough money to care for somebody to wipe your behind when you are ill. And nobody's going to do that as a volunteer, or they'll do it once. That's a reality check, right? And so as we ourselves, we're getting older, we're making our choices for what we want to do, whether we stay where we are or we think, is it possible for me to move? What would it be? What would be involved? What are things that I need to take into consideration before simply getting on a plane and then finding myself lost and then having to go back because you didn't build right? And I'm not saying I built right. I'm just like grateful. I am grateful, grateful, grateful that I'm still here. I am so grateful because there was a day when my two accounts here or my two accounts in the States, a checking and a savings and checking and did not have more than $5 combined. So that was like 15 years ago. I don't want to live like that anymore. That's stressful. I don't want to live stress because stress kills. So, so the idea behind listening to these different books is to understand the process, to understand. I still don't understand investing. I couldn't tell you nothing. Index fund, mutual fund. If I had a Roth or whatever, I know I had some type of retirement investment when I was working. When we moved down here, we reached a point where we had to pull that money out. So that's been long spent because of whatever other things. And we were looking at it short term. It's like, I don't want to wait 10 years to get that when I need it today. And so that was a decision, you know. So now I have a little better view, a little better understanding of how I can do things. I just got a letter, this is just a side thing, a letter from Social Security saying that if I use my Social Security, it's a little bit more, it's more than using my Social Security as a widow. So I was like, and this is right through the shutdown when I saw the letter. And so I was able to get through, and it's been a process, but at least have someone give me an estimate, because now I can't log. Well, anyway, I was able to get an estimate. I was able to log into my account um, to find out. So it's $50 more a month. So now, should I have taken it? I don't know. We'll get a cost of living. I haven't seen how much that is yet, but I know that that's coming 2.8% or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, uh, as I talked with the agent who helped me, we were able to see, she's like, well, you're only, little more than a year from being 70. Then when you're 70, then I would qualify for, I think, 120% or something more um, than I would normally get if I took my retirement now. So I just figured that's a good long-term, let's say, investment. I didn't know, so 15 months or so will go by fast. And so the difference plus cost of living increases in the next year is like maybe like $250 more than what I get. So take 50 today or $250 tomorrow, let's say. But those are the things that if you can work out, have self control, start learning your finances and understand the finances, learning everything that you can. Some of you are way ahead. Most people probably know a whole lot more, but I went to high school and university in the 70s. I was out of university in the 70s. I never, no word, no, nothing. I knew nothing. And so I'm educating myself now, which is fine. I've gotten to this point. I'm grateful. But I just hope, and not, well, I'm confident now. It's not a hope. I'm confident now that whichever way things go, because every day is a change, that at least I understand where I am. At least I understand what's an emergency. At least I understand how to handle emergencies. At least I understand why I tell myself no. It's so freeing to just not buy something because you know why. It's not punishment. It's just simply not part of your budget right at the moment. And budget is not a punishment. That's like saying a roadmap is a punishment to get you to where you want to go. It's not a punishment. It keeps you out of potholes or at least keeps you out of a ditch or being lost somewhere. So, the day's almost over. But I think it was important for me to, this is, like I said, this is my comfort costume. This is what I love this robe. It is more than 20 years old. We brought it down in my pajamas. But I don't know, like it insulates me. And like just having the warmth, even though I am here in Costa Rica, just having the warmth, it's like I feel insulated and protected. And so sometimes you don't need to be in performance mode. Sometimes you just need to be in mirror mode where you're looking at yourself and you'll look back on the anniversary and change the script on a day, a moment in time. That day is a day of release. A day is a day of new beginnings. A day is a day of vision. So yeah, filming YouTube is not an option because it's something that I've been having on my mind, and it's something it's been in my spirit for me for a long time because I really want to use this as a way to journal me and my growth, my experiences, be able to look back some things, and just release the sadness of things as well as see my progress. And and I do hope to use it as a vehicle or as a tool for enhancing my finances, because that's one of the things I found out is that as much as I think, oh, okay, I have money, and by according to these standards or whatever, but you know, I it's not a reality. Yeah, I have no credit card debt, but I have to have a backup plan. And my backup plan cannot be, oh, well, my friends will take care of me, or, oh, my children will take care of me, or, oh, the state will take care of me, or whatever, it's not, and none of those are wrong or bad. None of them are wrong or bad. But as much as it depends on me, be peaceable. But the person I need to be peaceable with first is myself. So I hope we continue have this conversation. I hope I post this today. I have filmed 100 videos. Many of them I've never posted. But this is going up. This one is going to go up. Okay. So it will go up before midnight tonight. Oh my goodness. So this was just a coffee picking minute. I'm Sandra. I'm in Costa Rica. And, let's enjoy life together.